Tweed, great win in round one. Must be absolutely thrilled with that. How'd you see the game?
Yeah, it was a pleasing start. I think that to have a grand finalist from last year as your first opponent always presents a good challenge, and both clubs trying to build round one to launch the season. And yeah, it was a very tough game. Like talking to a couple of players from their side as much as our guys, is the first half had a lot of intensity to it. It was a real arm wrestle as reflected on the scoreboard, and I thought once the guys probably just tightened up around contest, the contest lost in the second quarter was leading inside 50s for Sturt, and as much as we defended them quite well, that I think we need to just tighten up a little bit around the ball, and then we started winning more critical contests, which was leading to inside 50s for us, and it gave us a better chance to score. And yeah, to be able to put a bit of a margin in the third quarter was a pretty significant period of time in the game. And yeah, the last quarter was really professional from our guys. I thought Sturt kept throwing things at us which challenged us, and we repelled, and yeah, found a way to get a good margin in the end. And so it was a very satisfying start to the season.
Yeah, 94 tackles. Tweed must be thrilled with that.
It's something we pride ourselves on, with how we defend and how we close space in opposition, especially Sturt, who are a good contest team. So yeah, the figure was 28 in the first quarter, which was a good tone setter, and they made some adjustments in the second quarter, Sturt, which challenged us in a different way. But yeah, 94 is a good number. It doesn't necessarily reflect win all the time, but it does show that we're putting a fair bit of pressure on with ball carrier, and it brings other layers to our game to life.
Yeah, Harry Boyd, I'll chat about him in a moment. He had a massive game statistics-wise. Maybe someone that didn't have the statistics, but Tom Donnelly's effort on Josh Hone kept him to 3 disposals. How do you see that?
Yeah, it's a huge performance from Donnelly. I think anyone who's watched our group closely over the last few years would realise that he's got a great level of flexibility on who he can play on, Tom. And his preparation was outstanding. I know the work that he did to track Josh and how Josh plays, and I rate Hone the best small forward in the comp. And up to Thursday night, he's been that. So it was a big deal to be able to get that performance. But I thought Graham playing on Burrows did a good job. I thought Hurd had a good battle with McFadden, and then our other backs, Seymour and the 3 smaller guys, were able to, as a group, perform really strongly. But yeah, Donnelly on Hone had a big bearing on the game from our perspective.
Yeah, that was key. 3 big keys on keeping a very good team to 50 points. Just restricted their ball movement and a very good defensive effort. Yeah,
it was. And yeah, I'd go into games when you've got a McFadden, Burrows, Slimming, Dakin, Hone forward line, it's in face marks. It's asked a lot of questions of you. So I think Shane Hickey, our backline coach, done a really good job with our backs and their unity. And they've only played 3 games together when you consider Murley and Lord are only new back to Norwood, and Murley in a new position. And Graham only played a few games with us as a back last year. So they're a work in progress, that group, but they've started to develop a really strong baseline of performance and connection amongst each other.
Yeah, those tools did a great job, but you mentioned a few of the smalls there. Lord, Murley, Ling. That's a pretty good half-back line. Yeah,
well, it's a different profile to what we've had, Josh, in the past, and we've still got Ethan Warburton, Brodie Carroll, Alec Wright. We've repositioned Sam Morris, and those guys have gone through the back line in the past, so we've got a bit of a different look, but really pleased with Lord and Murley's growth in their way of playing as defenders. They offer a lot offensively, but their defence has got a lot of integrity to it, and that's why they get picked. So there's a lot of upside to that group, and I thought Ling's game was excellent the other night. He won big contests. They couldn't catch him when he got the feet going, and then he used the ball really well, and that's a great combo to have from your small half-backs.
Yeah, Lord and Murley were on debut. He had 7 all up. How did you see the games of Cootie and O'Neill and a few others there?
Yeah, well, on the surface, 7 debutants can lend itself to thinking far out. We're young, but of 6 of those 7 have played 50 to 60 senior games at State League around the country. So Hurd being the debutant, but he was 22. He'd been with us for 4 years. So I want to make sure that our players didn't get misled with debutant being inexperienced. That I thought they all performed strongly. I thought Boyle played his part in the wing. O'Neill was tough, had some really good clearances late in the game. Cootie was great balance in his game and showed everyone what he's capable of. Lord Murley we've covered, and I thought Finn Hurd was genuine in his performance. His ruck was good. He launched at the ball up forward, and yeah, he looked like a Norwood senior player. So to get returns from all our debutants was really important for us to be able to perform and get the result.
Yeah, Lord Murley has a nice ring to it, doesn't it? Harry Boyd, his performance off an injury was huge.
Yeah, well, he had an issue with his leg, which he had trained through, but probably we had to be a bit precautionary for a period in February, and always felt he was going to be ready by the start of the season, but it was always touch and go. He didn't play a practice match, but it just showed everyone who knows Harry that how professional he is, but it showed everyone he can perform when required. And he and Doyle, two big men going at it, and they both had periods of influence, but Harry's overall impact of 4 quarters was significant, and he's already got a lot of respect around this place, but it's interesting how when you go through some adversity and you can stand up again, it does increase how you're viewed, and Harry is a genuine leader on field and he's unconditional. So very pleased with his performance, and he pulled up well.
Yeah, week off before round 2 against Premiers in Glenelg. Was excited for that.
Yeah, well, once the fixture comes out, you see Sturt, Glenelg 1-2, both at home. Well, it's an opportunity to measure yourself straight up. Like we were no excuses footy club when it came to the start of this year. We'd got fit. We had most of our players available. A few that are long termers, but to go and get up against both those teams was always going to be a great challenge. And the week in between, everyone's dealing with it, so it builds it up nicely for round 2. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing how we can go against Glenelg. They've had the wood over us over the last few years, and we're quite clearly the best team in the comp last year. And there wasn't much to suggest that they won't be presented as the best team early in the season again after their win against Port Adelaide. So we'll continue training this week, but really drill down from Monday next week in relation to our Glenelg game on Friday night.
Yeah, and coaching the Sandford team against the VFL next Saturday. Looking forward to that. Yeah, it's good. I think people will look at it and wonder how you can pick a team after one game, but there's been a reasonable body of work that we look at and had a lot of eyeballs on games in relation to the selection panel, and we've got a really good crew of coaches we're going to be working with, and our players in this competition are genuinely honoured and privileged and excited to play for South Australia. And I think anyone who's followed state footy over the years, despite it being more an AFL backed state of origin in the past, that South Australia versus Victoria is great to reignite the rivalry, and to have it one of our local grounds as well, I think it's really great initiative by the competition. So yeah, it's a good week with gather round and a state game. I think it's a great mix. Yeah, perfect. Well, good luck next weekend, Twig, at that, and thanks for chatting to me.
Go, Josh.